The date is February 27th, 2017. Fire Emblem Heroes still gives a shit about its player base and releases a big six-person banner with characters from multiple games. On that banner lies what many assumed to be a little girl by the name of Lachesis. I mean, look at her. Very small, big, moe eyes. This was clearly like a 10-year-old, maybe 11. You can probably already tell the joke by now and are probably asking, dude, it's been 2 years and you're still bitching about Lachesis' Heroes art. And the answer is yes, and will always be sorry. So, given this injustice, I decided to make a video on it, because if intelligent systems won't do a badass like her justice, then I will. So let's just get right into the thick of it, shall we? Lachesis first appears in Chapter 2, where she and her brother, Eldigan, are discussing what to do after Trigal's, let's just say, questionable rise as King of Augustria. Eldigan wants to go meet him in person and stop him from raising an army to attack Sigurd, who just recently took over Verdane. Lachesis says that is a terrible idea, and that he won't listen and will probably kill him. Eldigan says that since there's no concrete proof Trigal did it, he wants to go off anyway. Well, lo and behold, Eldigan is in prison because Trigal won't listen to him and wants to kill him. This leaves Lachesis and 3 dudes to defend the entire castle from Elliot, a guy who wants to take Lachesis for himself because Fire Emblem bad guy want healer poon booga booga. Now, Lachesis doesn't just hide and cower. She draws her sword and fights them off with her 3 very diverse, distinguished knights. Sigurd comes in with reinforcements, and they manage to fend off the invasion, Lachesis with sword in hand. Now, while that sounds really cool, truth is, at least at first, Lachesis doesn't do so hot in combat. Her only real impressive base stat is her speed, and even then, she's lacking doubling skills. For those who aren't aware, it isn't enough in Fire Emblem 4 to simply have higher speed to double attack. Doubling skills are split into 3 skills: Charge, Pursuit, and Adept, none of which Lachesis has at base. But she works like an est in that if you stick with her, you're going to get an absolute monster. She promotes into the Master Knight class, which, in addition to giving plus 25 fucking points in stats, which by the way includes a massive plus 7 to strength and speed, gives her access to virtually every non-holy weapon in the game, the Pursuit skill, a horse, and just all-around dominance for the rest of Generation 1. It might take a little while to get her gears moving, but once they do, woohoo lad, do you have one femme fatale on your hands that cannot be stopped. So, unit quality aside, after her introduction, Lachesis has a few conversations of note. Her first noteworthy one is with Beowulf, as he approaches her and acts all chum and buddy-buddy, telling her to watch herself and that this whole war isn't just fun and games. Lachesis responds by asking him where the fuck he comes from talking to her like that, which, you would do if any stranger just started talking to you like that. He apologizes and remarks that he knew Eldigan and that he asked him to go see how Lachesis was doing. After realizing that, Lachesis apologizes and accepts some training from him, showing that while she can be a bit uptight, she isn't entirely crass or unfriendly. But the big sad comes in once Eldigan takes the field as an enemy. At this point in the story, he's not going to listen to Sigurd anymore, so out of desperation, Lachesis tries one more time to convince him not to listen to Trigal. But again, Eldigan says that he will try to reason with him instead, and leaves Lachesis the Earth Sword as a parting gift, which would be really cool if it didn't have the endurance of a crystal halberd from Dark Souls and the repair costs of a burger and fries from Five Guys. It's less as a gift to Lachesis and more of a gift to Nana and Thracia, where it is much more useful. After Eldigan's death, Lachesis serves no further role in the story of Fire Emblem 4. She's simply along for the ride until the very end. She has 3 potential lover conversations in Chapter 5, Du, Noish, and Beowulf. The Du and Noish ones are cute, but it's the Beowulf one that really has some meat on its bones. There, Beowulf tells Lachesis to go to Leinster and take up residence there to be safe before breaking ties with her and going off to die. This is significant because, according to the canon of Thracia 776, that is exactly what Lachesis does. This, combined with the fact that Delmund can use a sword locked to the Beowulf bloodline, and that Lachesis' daughter Nana is Finn's daughter in the Thracia 776 canon, indicates that, in canon, Lachesis hooked up with Beowulf, gave birth to their son Delmond, fled to Leonster, hooked up with Finn, gave birth to Nana, and then vanished to search for Delmond. This is interesting because in FE4, it's impossible for a mother to have two different lovers, so her canonical actions are impossible for a player to replicate in FE4. So what exactly happened to Lachesis? She fled to safety, so shouldn't she be alive like Ideen or Brigid? Well, not exactly. It's stated in Finn's epilogue that he vanished for 3 years, implied to have been looking for her, and came up with nothing. Her fate was likely to be explained in the scrapped 3rd generation of Fire Emblem 4, where she, alongside others like Azel or Teltu, were going to have their fates after Belhala explained. But since this scrapped generation never came to be, we'll just have to imagine that, okay, let's just say she was taking a nap in Yeed for 20 years, and she comes back and she, her husband Finn, her daughter Nana, Nana's husband Leaf, her son Delmond, Delmond's wife, who the fuck do people pair Delmond with? Wait, he seriously doesn't have a lover's conversation with anyone? At all? Her son Delmond and Delmond's wife Oife, her son-in-law Fergus, all become a happy family again. Oh, and Beowulf's there as a Jedi Force ghost. There, that's the canon. Now, it sounds like we're all said and done, but there's just one more thing I want to cover, and that is her role in the official Fire Emblem 4 manga adaptation by Mitsuki Uesawa. Now, as a forewarning, things in this are really dark and uncomfortable, so if you are uncomfortable with dark angst in your media, why the hell did you click on a Fire Emblem 4 video? That just doesn't sound smart at all. Now, something I've neglected to mention up until this point was that Lachesis and Eldigan had some, let's just say, strong incestual implications. And before you go all, well, duh, it's Fire Emblem 4, that's incest emblem, don't you know there's incest in that game? Please consider shutting the fuck up. I bring this up now because the manga adaptation goes all out with these implications and makes it outright canonical to the events of the book. Now, before you click away in disgust, please hear me out here. It is not presented as a good thing in any way. The romance between the siblings is very much portrayed in a negative light, as the attraction between the two of them nearly destroys Lachesis' mental state entirely. When Eldigan is executed, Chagall decides to be a bastard and send Eldigan's severed head to Sigurd and company, and this causes Lachesis to, well, let's just say she doesn't take it all that well. In what is, in my opinion, one of the darkest scenes in any Fire Emblem material, Lachesis retreats to her tent, where Finn finds her continuously stabbing herself with the Earth Sword. Since the Earth Sword heals the damage it does, Lachesis isn't actually dying or leaving any scars. She's instantly healing the wound. But what she's doing is constantly feeling the pain of death over and over again, to feel something to calm the numbness that she's feeling all throughout herself. It's only 2 pages, but it's a very uncomfortable 2 pages. The manga's Lachesis definitely tones up the angst and depression to her character, but it also turns up the charm as well, as her budding relationship with Finn is something the manga dedicates a fair amount of time to. I definitely recommend finding it and reading it for anyone that likes Fire Emblem 4's characters. Hell, they managed to make Medale interesting. Like, good lord, if they can do that, they can do anything. And it definitely does the cast of FE4 justice. But that just about wraps this video up. Lachesis' character is very dark, but at the same time enjoyable, that Heroes really dropped the ball on. And I feel like that sadly weakened a lot of people's first impressions on her. I implore you all, look her up, or better yet, play Fire Emblem 4 for yourself. There's a lot more to her than meets the eye. Thanks so much for coming to yet another MS Paint analysis. We're starting to make a real series out of these, and next time, I think we'll be giving a mercenary captain his fair time in the limelight. No, not him. No. Still no. Try again. Same game, you're getting warmer. He's a pirate captain, bandit captain, knight captain. He's just a mercenary class. He's not actually a mercenary. Oh, come on. Now you're being purposefully obtuse. There we go. That's the one. If you want to support the page, we're on Facebook and Twitter, and you can stop on by for memes and updates on future videos. There's always something stupid I'm saying over there, so I hope you can find your way on over and have a good time. And hey, if you got some more time to kill, try checking out the other 3 character videos I've done. I'm actually quite happy with how the Gilbert one turned out. Until next time.
Change the world. My final message. Goodbye.